It's Two on the Aisle with me, Charles Gross, and Leslie Hoban Blake. Tonight, reviews of Mercury Fur, The Absolute Brightness of Leonard Pelkey, Hick, A Love Story, Boobs on Broadway, and the 2015 New York Fringe Festival. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Two on the Aisle.
I'm opening with a very important play, I think. It's actually a revival of a 2005 play that had its first performances in Britain, and it's written by Philip Ridgely. And it's from the New Group. And I think it's going back to the roots of the New Group, Charlie, because it's really, it's a dystopian future play with a bunch of young kids, and it really winds up being a sort of a grand guignol. And the story is basically these two kids come into a ruined apartment, and the dialogue is such that they're setting up for a party. But it's a terrible place, and they're not doing very much to it. And you sort of go, okay, what's going on here? Is that a bombed-out city? You don't know exactly where you are. The audience sits in what looks like a bombed-out city. You actually walk across the stage. And then,
which is why they do not let people in late, and this is one of the few times I agree.
Well, yes, and they don't let you out either. They rather they let you know that you should really go to the bathroom.
Then.
Yes, right.
It's a 2-hour play.
2-hour play, and you don't. Nobody got up.
No intermission.
And nobody got up. There were, like, if you absolutely have to, they tell you what to do, but nobody dared to do it, I don't think. And the play is mesmerizing, I found, and I did ask you to make sure that you went to see it, because I wanted so much to be able to talk about it tonight. As I say, a very young cast. The only cast member I've ever heard of before was Tony I got to look at his name or I'll say it wrong. Revelari, who was in the Budapest Grand Hotel, the Grand Budapest Hotel, and he played the young bellboy. But he's the neighbor kid in this bombed-out building.
Right. And well, I had a very different take. Your take is actually what it turns out to be. My take is that you come in and you really don't know what's going to happen. I assumed this was a building in a slum, and that this was going to be some sort of drug party.
I think that's what. Oh no, I'm not disagreeing with you. I didn't know that it was all of those things.
It turns out to be what you how you describe it.
Yeah.
But we don't know that until the end. So nothing, you know. Well, now of course you've given it away. But you come in, your impression, and I think this is part of what makes the play for you, is going to be totally different from the actual reality. I'm not really sure how to react to this play. I certainly was not as enamored with it as you were. I don't think this is an important play. I don't think this is a groundbreaking play. It's a very different play. It reminds me in several ways of Hand to God, you know, with the the puppet that takes over, because it's very different. It's very stark. It's very
but that took place in the basement of the church.
I understand. But it's along similar lines. They're two totally different plays, but the way the grittiness and the down and dirtiness that both of these plays are willing to do is, I think, does have them stand out, and gave me kind of left me scratching my head. I'm not sure how to react to this.
Well,
I enjoyed it. It could be at times mesmerizing, especially at the end. You know,
yes, which we can't give away.
It flattens out. I won't give that away. It flattens out. It's very stark. It's very disturbing.
Okay, disturbing.
To say the least.
This is how disturbed I was. I was getting up, scratching my head as you were thinking, you know, what did I feel about this? When the usher came up and said, what did you feel about this for some reason? I said, well, I never really talk about plays. And then suddenly I started to say, but I was very moved by this, and I was frightened, and things happened, and I felt for the kids, especially because they are kids.
There are kids who are victims in this play, yes.
And then I started to cry when I was talking to her. Now, I'm, you know, crying is not something I do that easily. And then I ran into the kids in the lobby, and I said, thank you. I said, because they believe so hard in what they're doing that I didn't for a minute not believe that these things were happening. And that was something that was...
I certainly was nowhere near as moved as you were. Certainly there's
and I do want
drama,
to say that
there is tension there, but there is also like a, huh? Oh.
Well, I do also want to say that this is the kind of play that the New Group started with. It was the New Group, and they wanted to do new theater. And then they kind of got, you know, a lot of stars came in and did other things. And so I just went up to Scott Elliott, who directed this, and said, thank you for going back to the roots, because that's what they did. And he does have young unknowns in this. And
yes.
As I say, I was very moved by it, and I would give it 4.75.
Well, I would say I'm closer to 3 on this.
Okay.
I really did not
But
find it as sometimes it moved me to anger. It certainly elicited a response from me, but I didn't get it certainly didn't move me the way it moved you, and I certainly wasn't enamored.
Well, the New York critics, I think, were pretty much on the plus side of this. But I went back and looked at some of the British reviews, and they were right down the middle. Yeah. So it is a play that
This is a play that you can very easily come down on either side of it. It's unconventional, and that's fine, but it's very easy for some to like and some not to.
Well, as we speak, it's still running, and I can only hope that it gets extended and other people can get to see it.